Now, we all know art is subjective, but this next piece is only likely to win prizes for virtue signalling and probably racism too. Madness of Crowds author and Spectator associate editor Douglas Murray spotted a new installation by French-born black artist Nadina Ali in London this week that controversially demanded, quote, "Hey, straight white men, pass the power." He captioned the provocative shot, perfectly normal instructions spotted in Southwark, London. Anyone else spot a backlash coming? Since Douglas shared the snap online, political blogging website Guido Fawkes revealed the organisation behind the stunt has received more than £3 million in taxpayer funding since 2018. It sparked calls from the Taxpayer Alliance to defund the Arts Council of England, which contributed £1.8 million of that sum. Here's what the group's Elliot Keck told our very own Tom Harwood earlier today.
The organisation behind it certainly received a lot. What should the policy response now be?
Well, our policy response is very simple. The Arts Council should be defunded, so it costs, we think, about £400 to £500 million a year, and that's money that could be put back into taxpayers' pockets. And taxpayers will use that money, they use the money that they see in their pay packets in order to consume culture, go to museums, go to art galleries, go to shows, whatever it is. So our policy is very clear. We need to defund the Arts Council.
Artichoke Trust says it works with artists to create, quote, unique large-scale experiences that appeal to the widest possible audience, despite it taking aim at one of the largest demographics in the country. I mean, the issue I have with this, Adam Brooks, is that there's absolutely no way that the Mayor of London, that the police would allow this poster to be up if they were talking about any other racial or ethnic group in the country, if they were talking about any other sexuality. Yep. You know, Douglas Murray writes in tomorrow's edition of The Spectator, you know, if this poster said, gay men, give up all your money, or, you know, it just, you know, you just know it would be considered a hate crime. But because it's about straight white men, it's completely acceptable.
As a straight white man myself, I'm starting to feel a little bit sort of targeted with things like this. And I can see how, you know, people could become sort of angry and extreme if these sort of things keep appearing. You know, it makes people feel targeted. It's racist and it's divisive. And I can't believe that's allowed to be up.
Well, John Sargent, as Douglas Murray also says, and very good article, by the way, in tomorrow's Spectator about all of this, he says, you know, for the unemployed bloke walking out of his Southwark council estate, he's probably thinking, what power do I have to pass exactly?
No, of course it is. But it's meant to be provocative. It's meant to be bold, exciting, and all the rest of it. I can't say it would excite me if I saw this. I can't say it would draw me into whatever activity I'm expected to be drawn into by. This is always the problem about government money, which has got to be serious and boring, frankly, being given to things which try to be on the edge to excite and interest people. So my feeling about this is I would like to know more about this particular artist. Is there any art involved? Is he, in fact, artistic? I've no idea. She. So that just shows how much I know about them. But the Artichoke Trust, I mean, it doesn't leap to mind as a famous organisation that I should know about. And one wonders whether or not this, you know, whether it works through. If in fact, oh no, this is just one project or one this or one that, well then it's up to the Arts Council to look at it and certainly review it. I don't object to that at all. But the idea that we, on the basis of what we can see here, think, oh well, this is obviously, you know, it's appalling and it's racist and all these other things. I think you've got to be careful about overreacting when, in fact, this can be on the edge of satire. All right, but maybe it's being satirical. Maybe it's trying to be funny.
Ashley, do you think this is racist?
Look, I don't necessarily agree with the stoking of culture wars on either side, but I think it's interesting, Adam, that you say that suddenly you feel targeted because as a woman, I'm a white woman, but as a woman, I feel targeted with things that could threaten my life, as every woman is. Like, we fear for our lives because of inequality. 1 in 3 women are killed by a man, one every 3 days. And so you're threatened by a poster, but...
That's hardly
comparable. Art is a form of expression, whether we agree with it or not. And I think it is dangerous territory to say that if you don't agree with art, then you need to defund
What about the fact that
the artist.
it's partly publicly funded?
Yeah, but whoever it was saying like we can go to museums with public money, but if there's no art, and art has always been a form of expression, whether you agree with it or not, and also this person, I think, a black woman, she is.
It's not really
fighting.
art, though, is it? It's like a political poster. Fundamentally, it's not
But
a piece of art.
Art is
people
sort of
kicking
political,
walls
but also
tonight,
we're all
watching this.
talking about it, so it's doing its job because
You think
it's
people
giving
will
it
be angry?
publicity.
I think this could cause extreme behaviour by people that have had enough.
So it's actually stoking division.
I think it
actually.
stokes.
There is already division. Like there are real threats and inequality to black and ethnic minorities and
But
to
as
women.
Douglas
They are
Murray
real
says,
threats.
would it be acceptable for there to be a poster up which said "Gay men hand over all your money"? Would that be acceptable?
No, of course not. But
so
they,
why
but
is
they
it
already
acceptable when
face
it's straight white?
They already face oppression. And by the way, I empathise so much as someone from a working class background with the white working class male who is overlooked.
Yeah, because by the way,
this
they're
argument.
the most deprived.
I
folk
know
in
that.
British
I know that,
society.
which is why I'm saying I don't always agree with the stoking of culture wars, but I think it's very dangerous territory to say that because we don't agree with art or, someone person that we need to get rid of that
I
art.
can't help that I'm white and I'm straight.
No, of course you can't. But you
That's
can also
who I
acknowledge
am.
your privilege. Even looking at MPs, 65% are men. We see what happens
but what about
when there is not
that young lad?
representation.
What about that young straight lad from the Southwark Council estate who statistics prove has no more privilege than any other group in society, yet he still has to see this poster?
I'm not disagreeing with you. And like I said, I don't necessarily think it's a good piece of art.
The idea that this is such a frail person would pass this poster and say, oh, my God, I'm white man.
No, but look,
I'm finished.
I just think it's like all of this critical race theory stuff. I think it's divisive. I sign up to the John Lennon view of the world, the Martin Luther King Jr. view of the world, which is that we should be a colourblind society.
But
I don't
sadly,
think
we're
that
not.
this post... Well, we should be. And I do not believe that this post would be accepted if we were talking about any other sexuality,
It's wrong.
any
The
other
reversal
gender,
of Roe
any other
versus
colour,
Wade shows
and that
what
is wrong.
happens when there are straight white men only in power, which is why we need more women in power, why we need more black and ethnic
I disagree
minorities
with that
in power, because we
if
are
you look
not
at the Republican
colourblind.
Party,
We are not colourblind.
no, because Roe v. Wade is an American political issue. There is just as many females in the Republican Party who support Roe v. Wade. That is a fact. So,
The Supreme Court is...
now look, a
6 men.
spokesman for Artichoke, the organisation behind the poster, said tonight the artwork in question raises critical and urgent questions about the society we live in. We're not asking that the public should necessarily agree with the statements in any of the artworks, just that they should think and debate the ideas. Well, we've certainly done that tonight, haven't we? You think it's a cop-out?
It's a cop-out. Anyone that offends anyone, they can say, oh, I'm a comedian, or I was doing it as a social experiment.
Yeah,
It's
but
a
we
cop-out.
shouldn't also think, whenever we see something we disagree with, saying it should be banned.
No, but that is
that'd be a
racist, John.
dreary... I know, well, it's not...
I'm offended
for
by
me.
it.
Well, you shouldn't be. And you
Oh,
shouldn't
well, I am.
No, Adam, you've just got to be tougher now.
And also, well,
Don't be such a
The world's a rough
snowflake,
place.
Adam.